Just as you think they were rigging us out of the Olympics, Lewis Richardson is able to pull it off and win via split decision against Abasov, who's a very tough pro fighter in his own right as well. And Lewis Richardson was able to go on and get the job done. Very happy, absolutely delighted, to be fair, after the robberies that we've had go against us in this Olympics. My honest thoughts on that fight is, I'm not sure if Richardson won that fight, but we've been robbed too many times. So, should have given it, we deserve to have a fighter through anyway. And that is Lewis Richardson. Good all southpaw overall, to be fair. Just a bit too hesitant in that fight, in my opinion. He was good behind the jab. Difficult to hit. He does measure his distance well. He's pretty quick as well, good with the counters, but yeah, overall, second round from Richardson was very convincing. First round I thought was close. Abasov probably nicked it, was putting in some good body work. Third round was even with the work rate and all that. Richardson was good behind that jab, but overall I feel like Abasov landed the biggest shots to the body, which I thought probably made him nick it, but no, Richardson was able to do it. He did enough in the judges' eyes, which is the most important thing. And yeah, do I have big hope in Richardson to medal? I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely possible. He is pretty awkward and he is good with the counters. The thing is with Richardson and Abasov is that, it was a close fight and, I had you on the edge of your seats while you were watching it. But there wasn't a load of action-packed action because they were both just waiting for each other, trying to counter each other. It's always hard in 3-round fights as well. I mean, that's the whole point of it. That's why they are 3 rounds, because it's always hard to, get a winner within 3 rounds, a real decisive winner. So that's why, fights can go either way. But at the end of the day, Richardson gets the win. That's the most important thing. And he looked decent in the fight. Not amazing by any means at all, but he looked good enough in that fight, and I do have a bit of hope in him to do things overall, to be fair. But I feel like for Richardson, we need to see him throw that backhand out more in the quarterfinals. 100% needs to throw out that backhand more. He was too hesitant with it today, and I feel like that made us all pretty anxious at the end because he wasn't throwing enough power shots in that fight, and I feel like that's something which lost Richardson a few rounds. Richardson was doing really well behind that jab, able to push the pace with it, coming forward with, good single and double jabs. But he just wasn't throwing the backhand enough. But when he did throw the backhand a bit, he kind of did wobble Abasov a bit. We caught him with a good counter left hand over the top, which, looked to hurt Abasov. And if we just saw a bit more of that, he would have made himself look much more convincing. But Abasov is quick in and out of there, though, to be fair. So, you do need to, he did need to time his attacks well. And that's what he did do at times. He timed himself well with that jab, snapped the head back of Abasov quite a bit in that fight, which was good to see. And, Richardson was putting in good work with that jab, which was very important. But, as we go on and, you're going to be, fighting harder and harder opponents, you're going to have to be really, throwing that backhand more and being as accurate as possible with it, because at times when Richardson did throw out that backhand today, he missed quite a bit, to be fair, with that backhand. Jab was very accurate, though. I thought defensively, Richards was pretty sound defensively as well, measuring that distance well, good bouncing in and out of there as well, I think was good. And, pushed the pace for the majority of the fight. He was on that front foot, but Abasov was doing really, really well on that back foot, in my opinion, and, was able to score points 100%. I thought Abasov looked good in there, 100%. I thought he arguably won the fight, but again, it was close. You can't really moan either way. If Abasov won that fight, well, you can't scream robbery because, as I said, he arguably won. With Richardson winning, I don't think Serbs should be, screaming robbery and all that. It was a close fight, and they were both putting in a decent amount of work. Richardson with the jab, Abasov with his body work. Abasov caught Richardson a few times up top, but most of Abasov's work was to the body, trying to break Richardson down there. And, Abasov was doing the right things in that fight 100% as the smaller man. Richardson, I thought he did well with that jab, showing his reach and, showing that he is the taller man. 100% did well behind that jab, but, throw out that backhand more, make that smaller man walk right into that right hand. And I don't think he did that enough, in my opinion. But I mean, to be fair, Abasov wasn't really falling for any of Richardson's traps in that fight, though. I feel like for Richardson, we saw good movement from him as well, 100%. I thought overall it was a competitive fight, and I'm just very glad that we've got someone through to the quarterfinals. Thank God for that. Anyway, let's go, Lewis Richardson. Back at it again on Saturday.